We have a special guest, Colin, and he is a school counselor for the Lee County School District, and he's here to give us his perspective on bullying.
Okay, so bullying is an everyday issue in the Lee County School District. We deal with it day in and day out. It takes up a lot of time, a lot of different personnel's time, and so I really agree with your former guest Shay in that we do need to address it as best that we can and as appropriately as we can to decrease how much of it is going on. So the perspective that I'm having in the school district is that it is a problem. It may be that student seat is increasing, but we're hoping to decrease it.
So, what are some of the ways that you guys think that you can minimize bullying in schools?
Well, some of the things that we're doing are really working well. I particularly like the fact that we have a policy called if you see something, say something. That includes staff members, parents, students, but it has to be in an informed reporting. So you can do an anonymous bullying complaint form, or you can just do the complaint form where you're sort of taking ownership. I saw this, I'm writing it down, I'm making the report. But even on the forms, if you were to take a look, it really does a good job of defining bullying. So, I mean, if we were to have a complaint form from the hundreds of peer conflicts that occur on a weekly basis, we would probably be inundated by now. But luckily, we've done a good job of teaching students. There's formal trainings that every personnel has to undertake about what bullying really is, and it's sustained harmful contact against somebody who has less power or who has perceived less power in the circumstance. And so you're really looking at something that is very complicated, sustained, it's purposeful, and we're trying to nip that.
Can you tell me more about cyberbullying and with social media these days, how that affects kids and what they can do?
Yes, cyberbullying is definitely in the forefront of what we're having to deal with in the schools as it relates to bullying. And the biggest thing that students can do really is to figure out who is a true friend. Ask yourself this question: if they're a true friend, would they be saying XYZ to me? And also, they always have the power to block, unfriend. They can remove a contact from their phone. It doesn't stop what happens behind the curtains, but at least it's not a distractor for them in the time that they're in school. So that's one thing that we heavily suggest. We're also very much on the parents' case. If there's some sustained cyberbullying going on, then we really try and get the parents to monitor more heavily the usage of the social media sites and really go poking around in the phone, which a lot of students don't like that concept, but go around poking in the phone and see if there are any apps you don't recognize, and try opening them up, because more likely than not, it's a news form of social media. There are hundreds of forms of social media, not just what we know as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The list goes on. There's now Kick, Vine. I mean, it's and there are just hundreds of others just sort of waiting to surface up that the kids can use as a venue for talking to each other, sometimes inappropriately.
So, how does the topic of anti-bullying in the classroom happen?
Well, we've got a number of things that we're doing already as part of a movement to help students learn what is bullying and how can we handle it as it comes at us, or if you see it. One of the major things that we like to do is Learning for Life curriculum. I know a lot, that's being pushed in a lot of the schools. There's a really great sort of grassroots movement with that.